All right, guys. So Ethan's back after getting banned off of YouTube um, for some inappropriate things that he had said. We're very early into the video, so we got to censor language a little bit. Personally, I've reinstated this before. I believe Ethan was making very, very dark humor jokes. However, some people believe that he was serious. Now, I don't think he was serious, but either way, I don't think that a ban was unwarranted. I think it was a reasonable. I think it was a reasonable response from YouTube. You know, he said some things that were pretty intense. They probably didn't help the conversation about the guns. If anything, they probably just redirected it towards hatred of Ethan rather than an actual conversation about what we could do to prevent gun violence. But let's see what Ethan's response is.
Well, guys, I am back. I survived a coordinated, relentless effort to destroy the show. And I'll tell you what, I had a great week doing it. A great week off. So shout out to all of the sappy-eyed, stomping tantrum babies who got us suspended for a week. You guys have a good week?
Yeah, I had a lot of fun.
Yeah, great week.
Oh, yeah.
Well rested.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, I have a lot to talk about. But before we do, I got to, first of all...
It's interesting. It's very interesting that, like, in no capacity was Ethan like, you know what, I understand why I got the YouTube ban. You know, he wasn't even like, yeah, I get it. You know, maybe I went a little too far. Like, why not have that perspective a little bit? Like, just thinking that it was 100% reactionary to people, which part of it probably was. I'm not going to lie. Part of it was probably reactionary because people were complaining about it. But, like, maybe you went a little too far. You know, maybe...
Give a quick thank you to HelloFresh. Looking for a stress-free summer? HelloFresh sends you foolproof, step-by-step recipes and fresh pre-portioned ingredients to make mealtime a summer breeze. Get 16 free meals plus 3 free gifts with code H3TV16 at HelloFresh.com/H3TV16.
Okay.
Thank you. Also, quick shout out to Teddy Fresh. This shirt, I'm completely alone. An original Elo Klein art, which is keying out currently. But if you go to Teddy Fresh, this and a bunch of other really cool shirts are there. It's summer, so get those t-shirts now. Thank you, Ian. All right. Wow, what a week, you know. Woo! I'll tell you guys what. First of all, I'll say this. I'm not mad that YouTube banned us for a week. I get it. You know, I get it. So
what do you get?
The other thing I'll say this. To be honest, I was...
Because it sounds like what he's saying is I get why they'd have the response because they had to do something. But, like, why not be like, yeah, you know, I think people are overreacting because I do think the EMs are completely overreacted. Nobody's surprised there. But also say, like, yeah, but I did what I had said was, like, it was very intense. And so I can understand why I got a ban, you know?
Afraid it was going to go worse. I thought it was... At first, when I saw, you know, Don Jr. tweeted about it and Alex Jones and all these conservatives on... The whole conservosphere was, you know, tweeting this 10-second clip of me saying someone should B-word that.
B-word.
Building. That's fair, right? I don't want to say
the donation. Yeah. Their donation,
you know,
their donation was resolved. It must have just taken a while to post. You're talking about like the donation to the fund for the Uvalde school district. Like, yeah, that was resolved. Like, I think that it just took a while to post.
No, I got banned last time in Minecraft.
Are you saying that somebody should bonk the building like in a cartoon?
I'm going to say something I probably shouldn't say.
But I was afraid it might actually get worse. Like, I was like, shit, this is bad. I don't know. I was afraid we might get, like, this whole channel.
I like this. Like that, bonk. I like how Ethan's like, I had a great week off, you guys. Thank you. And then he's like, yeah, where I was afraid I was going to get actually banned. It's like, well, what are you talking about? You had a great week then. You're lying, obviously.
Demonetized, or you know how sometimes when something really bad happens with, like, Logan Paul, or it happened with Shane, too, where their channel gets, like, demonetized for 3 months or something, or, like, I don't know, some undisclosed amount of time.
Wow.
So I was pretty nervous. I'm not going to lie. But it didn't, you know. It was just a 7-week suspension, and everything's fine.
7 day.
7 day, 7 week, 7 day.
You
know, so that was a relief. I'm not gonna lie, there was so many death threats and anti-Semitic, crazy, flipping nuttiness coming my way. I was a little scared. It was a tense week, in some senses, because you just never know, man. People say crazy shit online, you know.
I'm sorry, it's just funny. He's like, thanks for the week off, guys. I was shitting through my pants the whole week. I got death threats. And like, it's like, okay, pick one. How are you gonna say both? It's not funny that he got that. Like, of course he doesn't deserve that. I'm just saying, like, how are you you're gonna tell everybody thank you so much for the week off? But then, like, not really. You know what I mean?
God!
Yeah, great week. Other than stressing out that my entire career will be ruined. Great week. I was out of that. It's like, okay, that's something. But okay.
I'll be honest too. I had a Wendy Williams moment, I think, because you know when she goes, "Death to all of them," and then she shocked herself. I think I had that. I think
you guys are kindred spirits for sure.
I never thought I would say it, but I think I had a Wendy Williams moment there.
Yeah.
Death to all of them.
No, I think you two really you have a cosmic connection.
You think so?
Well, you're both farting all the time and
Right.
farting and burping and
Talking about
And
gay wording
they're both black, so there's something, right?
people.
Yeah.
You know,
Okay, wording.
Okay, wording.
honestly.
First of all, I said B the building, not K the people.
So true.
Right.
That's very important.
Yeah, let's death to all of them.
Well, I think that if you were being serious, which I don't think that you were, usually if you bonk a building, right? People are in the building. You know.
Here's what. So just to explain, because I watched that clip back. First of all, it was funny. I'm not even going to deny it. Okay. There was a meme on the subreddit that was like the Joker meme. Maybe you can pull it up. And someone's like, "I'm tired of pretending what Ethan said wasn't funny." That's a good one to tweet out loud.
Yeah, I mean, listen, I laughed. It was just really dark, and it was probably too far off the line. But I know it was a joke, and I know Keemstar keeps going like ballistic. Like this situation has actually turned me off to Keemstar because it's kind of like objective proof that he doesn't care. It was a joke, whether you want to believe it or not. It's an it was a joke. The problem is a lot of people who don't know what jokes are. Apparently, it's weird that I have to explain this. A joke, I think the problem is that people like Keemstar and like Duff Noodles, they think that because something's a joke, it means that they no longer have to be held accountable for what they said. That's not how jokes work. You can be held accountable. Jokes are humorous ways, like it's a humorous vehicle to reinforce a particular point, right? So for instance, like let's say I went to your house. I've used this before. Let's say I went to your house and you had a very small door. It wasn't super wide. And you're like, "Oh, Baba God, you sure you can fit through that?" Right? You're joking, but it doesn't mean I'm not fat, right? It's a funny little joke. It's meant to be humorous. It's not meant to be, it's meant to be humorous. So you're just making a little joke, right? That's what it is. It's a joke. And that's what he was doing with that. Now, it doesn't mean that it's appropriate because you could also use jokes to be racist or sexist or to call threats of violence. You can still use jokes to do anything. It's about what the intention behind the joke is, right? And the problem is a lot of people like Keemstar don't know what jokes are. Or maybe he does, he just pretends that he doesn't when it comes to Ethan because he hates Ethan so much. I'm not saying Ethan doesn't do the same thing to Keemstar. But frankly, it's kind of annoying and exhausting, especially with him constantly just tagging me and things, saying, "You're wrong, you're dumb." I probably offended him by calling him stupid. So I guess I'm sorry for that. But like, I don't know what to tell you, man. Like, I really just don't know what to tell you.
Funny, man.
We do a little
just because it was so ridiculous, and I was thinking like, okay, all those terrible people are in one building, and I was thinking like, how are we going to get these people to actually care about this? And it's like, bring the heat to their house. Now, obviously a joke, okay, not serious, guys.
I'm clenching a little bit.
I'm just explaining my rationale.
I know.
Because it was like, how do we make them care about? They're so pro Second Amendment. Let's see what happens when the Second Amendment comes to them. Not a serious suggestion to anyone. I was obviously very angry. I have 2 young kids in the wake of just a horrible, traumatic, just disgusting what happened in Uvalde, and I'm still angry about it. I'm still so angry about it. And I just saw my newsfeed in Texas where this took place, just to show you. I mean, this is what we're up against, guys.
Like that makes sense to me. Like he was angry and he made the joke. I don't know what else to tell you. And it was the joke had like a lesson in empathy. Like, oh, you don't care about gun violence, but like, what happens if it was you? Like that was the argument there. Doesn't make it right. You can still say that he deserved the ban. It was too far. That's totally fine. But to go through like the mental gymnastics to say that it's not it wasn't like a really bad joke, but it was a joke. It's just you're just being dishonest. I mean, that's the whole thing. So
they're passing legislation here. Let me pull this up to ban kids from make it illegal for kids to be in the presence of a drag show. Like that's what they're thinking about right now.
And listen, that's a whole different conversation to have about like drag and stuff. And I'm down to have the conversation. I have a video releasing soon about the whole drag your kid to whatever pride thing. I think it was very inappropriate that happened in a nightclub. I think we could at the very least all talk about that. But like, it is interesting that like we're having a really big conversation about that, but we're not talking about gun control in Texas. Like, it seems like at the very least, if you were going to be consistent as a person, you would think that like maybe we should have a conversation about both of these things. But we have kids getting literally murdered, and there's no conversation, or the conservatives don't want to have the conversation about what we could do to prevent that in any serious way. But we have this, right? Like, think about this: if a conservative, if they, instead of pushing or that bill, or if a conservative was also like, you know what, we should also push a bill to have a security guard and two armed security guards in every single school. Okay, at least you're trying to solve the problem, but you're not. You're not even like proposing that of like, let's get 2 armed security guards in every school. There's a complete like dead air about doing anything, and that's the biggest problem. Meanwhile, you see the kids at a drag show, and I get it. I don't think that they should have had it in the nightclub. And then there's also a conversation to have about drag, kids going to drag in general. But like you have this massive solution. But where's your solution to the gun violence? Hey, thank you so much for the sub, brother. There's not even a serious proposal, right? If anything, we need to ban liberal parents. I'm just kidding. You get what I'm saying? That's the part that is frustrating, and nobody really cares, right? The only good thing about my interaction with Keemstar, which I would probably ending interactions, is that he watched my video about him like melting down, and he decided to promote my idea without crediting me, which I don't really care about that. But where I said that like I think that there should be a gun license comparable to a driver's license, and then Keemstar like the next day on Twitter after complaining about my video, obviously watching it, all of a sudden that's his new unique idea. So there's your positives. They ban kids in general, absolutely.
It's bananas, you guys. It's fucking outrageous. And the only thing I regret is that I became like this useful talking point for all the reactionaries that want to, change the conversation from just horrific, tragic thing that happened there, and the obvious need for action turned into a conversation about liberals are like dangerous and like violent because I made a stupid joke.
What a loving liberal.
Yeah, that's Alex Jones talking about me, and we'll get into all that, of course.
Alex Jones. What a loving liberal. Oh my god.
But
did you find next?
That meme? It was like right when it happened. But I watched that clip back and I'm like, dude, this is funny. It's obvious. It's just funny how we rolled it back and we were laughing about it. Like, Zach, clearly the reactionaries who were angry didn't hear that we played the Will Smith rewind time soundbite. Otherwise they would know we rolled it back.
They must have missed that because that actually, you can say whatever you want as long as you
Zach
rewind time.
Yeah, dude, Zach dropped that. It's rewind time soundbite so fast. I was like, I was laughing, bro, so hard. And the record scratch and everything. It's so funny.
Yeah, that exonerates everything.
What is going on outside? It sounds like someone's about to B-word our building.
Uh-oh.
They're coming for you, dude. What the hell?
Oh my god.
That is the loudest.
Yeah.
Someone landing on the roof.
It sounds like there's a helicopter like 10 feet above the building. They just flew off, but
Uh-oh.
I think we're about to get airstriked.
Jeez.
Jesus
That was scary. I don't know if you could hear, but
I believe it would be airstruck. Or I guess the airstrike would be a thing. So I guess airstrike works. I don't know. Okay. Anyway.
All like a little scared right now.
That was really close. Yeah, I feel like it was really close.
Okay, well, it's gone. So anyway,
Die!
Oh,
yeah, I had a Windy William moment, but
someone's
got to find that. It's back there, and it's so good. But actually, first, before I want to talk about all the insane, over-the-top, bananas reactions that people had to it, I want to talk about my incredible week-long vacation. Compliments.
full of stress and frustration.
Of the lunatics, What's weird? Oh, here, did someone find it?
I think so.
Olivia came through. Wait, no.
All right, I'll keep looking.
It's the Joker meme where it's like, I'm tired of pretending like it's not funny. Yeah, so the weird thing is that the minute the show ended, we snipped out the part of me saying B, the building.
Yeah.
Snipped it out. It was probably gone from the episode within like 30 minutes after the live ended.
It takes longer than that to process the edit, but probably.
Oh yeah, it takes forever to process the edit. In all honesty, so like that's the thing. Here's the thing. If you really wanted to get rid of it, seriously, you should have pulled the episode down right after you guys got off the air, and you should have waited for the processing to finish. Like, it is very clear that your removal wasn't because you thought it was inappropriate. You just thought it probably went a little too far, and people would be upset about it. So, like, let's keep that in mind,
A few hours.
Okay, and so we were like, well, maybe we'll be fine because oh, thank you. Here, fine. Yeah, here we go. Thank you, Cam.
Thank you, Cam.
Here, this is the meme I was talking about. That's 2,000 points. Let me get this straight. You think what Ethan said was funny? I do, and I'm tired of pretending it's not. It was kind of nice to be funny. Like under this intense canceling microscope. But for the first time, all of our fans were on my side. I don't think that's ever happened before when I get into trouble. Usually everyone's angry at me. So So that was a nice change, you know. So my Joker brain / Goblin. People were saying I'm in Goblin mode because I was tweeting all kinds of crazy shit too on break.
He definitely was tweeting fucking insane shit. He was definitely going on his Joker mode. It is interesting though because you would have expected, like, I understand the conservatives having fucking meltdowns, but you would have expected the edgy commentary community to be like, yeah, like the people who openly and use like the N word and they think it's funny and shit to be like, yeah, you know what? I think it was a little far, but it's an edgy joke, so I get it. It just feels like it completely disjointed for like these edgy fucking content creators to fucking pretend like they actually gave a shit because you fucking don't. And so that's like a frustrating part too. It's like you're morally being inconsistent with your actual beliefs. You know, it's just like there's so many aspects here where like it's just like people are fucking like honestly, like I say it before and I'll say it again, they're fucking pearl clutching, dude. You guys don't really care. It's just that it's Ethan. Ethan's the one doing it. Ethan is the suspicious baka, right? So we have a meltdown about Ethan, you know?
It's just like I was relentless.
Sure
and,
were.
and you know, people were so angry. I just thought it was a funny opportunity to here, let me read some. And I think I have some interesting insight. But what I was going to say is it got removed for bullying and harassment. So I was like, we cut the building part. And I saw some of the conservatives were angry about my jokes about Greg Abbott, like putting a stick in his spokes. And that to me is the funniest fucking thing because they are just such hypocrites. There's
somebody in the house. I'm not gonna get up though. Yeah, no, I think that the spokes one was just stupid. It was just like, oh, I want him to fall on the ground. Like it's such a dumb joke. Like it's not even like people were melting down about, oh, you want somebody to hurt him? It's a joke about falling over. Like it's so stupid.
Biggest snowflakes in the world, dude. You can't handle a stupid joke about putting a stick in a spoke. And so I wonder if that's what they ended up removing it for, because we snipped. I don't know the real reason. It could have been one or the other. Why am I on? Oh, this is me. By the way, quick shout.
It was probably the original one because even though it wasn't in the video anymore, there was a very large public outcry. So I think that was part of it. I wonder if this has an impact on it. So I'm gonna try to get this here.
Look at this photo shoot. It turned out so sick. Look at that. For Teddy Fresh, gym collection.
Wow.
How dope is that?
That's awesome. So cool.
Thank you guys. Thanks. Yeah, it turned out so sick. So there you have that. All right, let's see my Goblin Mode tweets. People were loving this on the subreddit anyway. Not so much on Twitter. I'm not gonna read this one. Some of these are too spicy for you.
I already beat Chimps mode for this map. I just like I exit out of it before finishing it, so you don't get the black border then.
Twitter don't care about anything, bro. Wait, what?
You're on the podcast. You gotta go to your own.
God damn it.
Own damn tweets.
So I'm not reading that one. That one's too hot for TV.
Okay.
I'm not.
Maybe just not any of them.
No, some of them are good. Some of them are good.
Okay.
Some of them are really good. Trust me.
We're still scrolling.
So this one, I said, question for all the pants-shitting losers who have been reporting me to the police for my very credible beef threats.
Oh.
Were they supposed to have interrogated me by now? Because nothing's happened. And it seems like pretty obvious to them it was a joke. Dang, that's crazy. And to everyone who's been lobbying to get me banned on YouTube for being a domestic T-word, try harder, losers. I'm enjoying my one week vacation, though. Slept in today. There was one other one. I was going in for Greg Abbott. And I learned something really interesting about Greg Abbott that I think you guys will like. So
What's
Greg
that?
Abbott, and I'm not saying this to bully him. I just think it's interesting. He's a religious man, obviously, and the Texans are religious people. So I was wondering, how did he get paralyzed? And I swear to God, this is true. The man was jogging, and a tree fell on him. If that's not an act of God, I don't know what the fuck is. Bro.
Jesus Christ. I mean, I guess it is an act of God. That is the religious ideology behind when terrible things happen. It's like a test from God, so, okay.
A tree just fell on him. That's like straight out of a cartoon.
I'm personally glad Ethan's going downhill. So here's the thing with Ethan going up or downhill. What it has to do most with him going downhill. Okay, I'm trying to like articulate myself, and I'm apparently just too stupid to do it. When it comes to when people say that Ethan is going downhill doesn't really have much to do with you changing your ideology as much as it has to do with the way that you respond to stressful situations and criticism. Because, like, you know, I don't classify shifting your content as going downhill, right? For more than anything. I mean, I guess it depends on what you're talking about, because he's definitely, to a lot of extent, going down like a lefty, you know, whatever. But this to me shows that he's not quite as the performative. I don't know. Making these edgy jokes isn't something that would really normally align with his shit. Maybe it would. I don't really know. But, like, his response to people is what's the bigger problem. Like, him, like, fucking having an absolute meltdown. He got banned, and I would have been like, all right, I understand why I got banned. For being, like, too edgy. I don't think that, like, when it comes to going downhill, I think it has more to do with his responses to the situations than it does to this situation. But maybe I'm like not entirely accurate. But
when like Zeus throws a lightning bolt and a tree just like, bro, God was clearly trying to kill him, is what I'm saying.
It's the blood of God. That's right.
I said, let's be honest. You know, it's a sign from God. Abbott is the road runner, except he's in a wheelchair, obviously, and God is Coyote, except he's more confident because he did paralyze Greg.
And the spirit.
People did not like that tweet.
well, I guess he is right. I mean, not for nothing, not to get into like, but you know, listen, when there are people in like the religious sphere who believe, especially very religious people who believe like everything happens for a reason. And so a lot of times, like the response to a woman getting sexually assaulted, I'm not saying all conservatives or Christians are like this, but it's like, well, I guess it's like God's will. You know what I mean? It's a big cope a lot of the times because it's like, well, it's a horrible situation. And like, how else can you deal with it other than to be like, well, I guess this is the way things are. But like, it does happen sometimes. Some people, I'm not saying all people, but yeah, I mean, I get what he's saying.
But I do want to be clear that I want to disavow the ableism aspect of this. Because, first of all, there's nothing wrong with being in a wheelchair. We love our people in the wheelchair. What I'm saying is that God hates Greg Abbott.
You can say there's nothing wrong being in a wheelchair until you got to walk up a flight of stairs. Am I right, guys? I mean, come on. Let's be honest here. All right? It makes it a little difficult. Just makes it a little bit difficult, okay?
And he tried to kill him and failed. Therefore, he's in a wheelchair. I'm not saying that there's anything wrong with that.
Based on their logic. Not
Also,
that you believe that.
People who suck can be in wheelchairs. Like
this is like so weird that like you have to qualify this joke. There's nothing wrong with being in a wheelchair. Nobody's saying there's anything like inherently wrong with being in a wheelchair. Like it doesn't make you less of a person, but obviously it makes you differently abled. Like we get the joke that God wanted you. Like nobody in a wheelchair is like, fuck, I'm so happy I can't stand. Or we get like this is where it gets like so preachy where you feel the need to qualify this joke. But okay.
he is a person who sucks.
There's all
but he's
kinds
also
of people in
wheelchair.
wheelchairs.
Yeah.
Good people, bad people, mobility Mary, somewhere in between, maybe chaotic, neutral.
So this person who sucks, if you're sitting in the wheelchair,
But I'm not as interested in the wheelchair
That was
aspect, just about how God obviously tried to kill him, and it's possible the devil's the one that intervened to save him, and therefore Greg Abbott is doing the bidding in the world. If I'm a Christian, right, I'm looking at that, I'm like, yo, a log fell on this man when he was jogging. This is the governor of Texas, by the way. He's a vile demon. He's a demon.
See, I didn't know that when I was reading your tweet. I thought you were just making up a scenario.
No.
Okay.
No, that's fucking how he got paralyzed. It's nuts. I mean, who does that happen to?
Watch that demon die.
Okay.
I mean, yeah, exactly. I went down a Greg Abbott meme hole, and I saw this headline: Governor Greg Abbott. This is where Uvalde is. He attributes the mass S-wording to mental health issues. A month after cutting $211 million from Mental Health Commission, it's like the man is a vile, demonic POS. Okay.
I mean, if that's true, yeah. I mean, there's obviously an issue there. If you're saying, oh, it's a mental health issue, like, is his reaction to, oh my god, am I seriously going to lose this? Wait, no, I'm not. I am. I didn't even know I was at round 90. Fuck this game.
Okay. Oh, and then people were saying that we faked our donations. We ended up raising like $120,000 for the families via our Gun Reform Now shirt that Hila made. There was like people, was it Keemstar? I know Quartering was doing, all kinds of people were saying we faked it because it went up and then it disappeared because, dude, it was a $50,000 donation. It takes time to confirm that.
I don't know about Keem, but yeah, I saw the Quartering.
No, Keem was.
Oh, Keem
which
was?
is,
that's surprising.
yeah, it's surprising that.
Did Keemstar say that the donation was fake? I don't remember seeing that. I remember questioning it, and then I was like, but there's a lot of people saying that like there's this, and this reason. So I wasn't being like, oh my god, he faked it. I was just trying to figure out what had happened because there's no way he would be dumb enough to do that. Like, I mean, you'd have to be an idiot. There's no, even if you think Ethan's a bad person, faking that donation doesn't even, like, if you think he's a selfish and a bad person, like, him faking it wouldn't have helped his career. So why would he fake it? You know what I mean? Like, it doesn't make any sense. But okay.
Keem would publicly try and question you about where some money went.
Right. That's why I thought he went.
Not the first time. And by the way, don't you think that it's just a little odd that am always being questioned about doing financial frauds, even though I've never ever done anything like that. Proven.
Why is it weird, do you think, Ethan? What is it? What are you trying to get at? Are you trying to say it's anti-Semitic?
It's like, do you find it just a little bit fucking odd that I'm constantly getting called out for financial fraud?
Do you think it's because you are overweight?
It might be because I'm fat.
Dude, come on. Like, listen. Like, come on. I don't believe that it has anything to do with him being Jewish. That's what he's trying to get at. I think it has to do with some of the... I think that it has to do with a mixture between some of, like, the, I guess... situations from a shallow perspective. I don't think it does. Looking like he's, okay. So I think that the first one stems from he promised that he would have a fund for he would use the extra money from his what was it called, the lawyer fund, whatever the fuck it is, and create a fund for other people facing DMCA issues, right? And then, like, obviously they use a lot of the money, and then it went nowhere. And people were like, oh, well, where'd the money go for here? I don't think it's because he's Jewish. I think it's just because he said that he was going to do a thing, which he couldn't do. And then people don't like him on top of that. People hate Ethan. And they don't hate him because he's Jewish, because they didn't hate him when he was all edgy. They hate him because they feel like he's changed. I don't think it has anything to do with him being Jewish. I think it's a little bit of a stretch. And then here, it's like, it's questionable. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm just not anti-Semitic enough, so I don't think it has anything to do with him being Jewish. But I saw the donation too. It didn't get posted, even though they said they posted it. And I think it just took a few days to go through the system. So yeah. Oh my god, am I seriously gonna fucking lose here again too? Wait, no, I'm not. So I think that those are probably better reasons, but maybe I'm wrong. But maybe it's because he's fat. Yeah, they probably just assume that he used the money for food.
But do you guys see what I'm saying? Like, it's so fucking blatantly obvious to me that these people are literally just playing to the fact that I'm Jewish.
I just disagree. I mean, come on. Really? I feel this is like come on. This is a fucking victim complex 101 here. Give me a break. It has nothing to do with it. People don't dislike you because you're Jewish. It's because you don't say the N-word anymore, Ethan. You don't say the N-word enough to people, okay? That's why they don't like you. No, they don't like you because you've begun to be more preachy and annoying, and you've pushed false rape accusations. You know, things like that probably made so people bad faith the fuck out of you because you do all these horrible things. But it has nothing to do with you being fucking Jewish, okay? It's insane.
It's like they're so obviously just perpetuating anti-Semitic tropes about me. Even though I have never ever done that. No matter what I do a good thing, I get called out for it every fucking time. We raised $120,000 for the family. You could go there. It's on GoFundMe. It's on the top list. Same thing with the lawsuit. You know, Philip DeFranco made a GoFundMe for me that I didn't even ask for or want, and I get called for.
Whoa! Hey! Relax a little bit there. Relax a little bit there. We're getting a little too we're getting a little bit too victim-y here, because like I didn't ask for it, which is true, but I never wanted it. Yes, you did. Shut the fuck up. Of course you wanted it. You needed it. You needed the money at the time. What are you talking about? You didn't like. That's where it gets like annoying. It's like, shut up. You wanted it. You took the money, so you obviously wanted it. So what are you talking about? You know.
Stealing money. I mean, the whole thing is insane.
Also,
and
when you guys donated for the pandemic, same thing. When
I gave away $100,000 of my own money for the pandemic. People were saying it's fake. The same people as always. It's fuck. You know, it's like, dude, I don't know what more I can do.
I don't think it has anything to do with anything to do with you being Jewish, Ethan. I think that people just don't like you because you're a little bit of a suspicious character. People bad faith you. I don't think you would fake a donation because it would look bad for you. But like, yeah, you've done some really shitty things.
Millions of Jews.
Yes.
Keemstar is the most surprising too, because you'd think that he'd learn his lesson, because that whole accusation about the Fupa Fund thing was really the breaking point when you ended up making a 4-hour documentary about what a giant piece of shit he is.
Well, he didn't learn his lesson, because even though he quite literally defamed me, the video's still up on his channel and nobody gives a fuck except me.
Right.
All these commentary channels that like co-signed it and put it out there and said I'm a scammer and a fraud.
Scammer gets scammed.
Luckily, we're able to dispel that, but yeah. And then this guy, we're gonna watch this video later. There's so much on my mind. This guy called the fucking. We're gonna watch this whole video, but here, just to give you a little taste.
I watched that video too, but the guy called the police, and it's very clear he doesn't care. And this is the thing that really bothers me, is that the conservatives don't actually care about what we're saying here. This is the part that bothers me, because you can very clearly tell that nobody gives a shit. He doesn't care. Keemstar doesn't care. It's this performative bullshit where people are pretending to care because they want to be outraged, but they don't really care. They don't actually see it as a threat. It's a way to promote like a victim complex. That's all it is.
How can I help you? Yes, ma'am. I just returned from the NRA annual meeting in Houston, Texas at the George R. Brown Convention Center. And while I was in there, there was a person online. His name is Ethan Klein. He was on a podcast, and he made the comment that someone should...
Yeah, so he's calling the Texas Department of Public Safety on me, saying he has a credible threat of...
I heard somebody on a podcast say something
my favorite part is he goes, I got home safely, and it was a week ago, but I think it's a credible threat. This guy's such a... Yeah, his channel, by the way, is called...
It's Legally Armed Americans.
Yeah, legally armed and triggered as hell. You know why this guy owns so many guns? Because he's a fucking baby. He's scared all the time. I guess that is why people do own guns, actually, unironically.
Well, yeah, that's the whole point of having a gun. It's like you're afraid. Like, it's not even like you didn't even really get him on that one. I don't know what the fuck. Like, yeah. Like that. You didn't really get him on that one there, buddy. You're just like, oh, you're probably going to be afraid. Yeah. That's why people tend to own guns. It's true. Very good point. Thanks, Ethan.
I can't wait to watch this video with you guys. It's such a.
Doesn't Ethan own a gun? I don't know. Doesn't Ethan have a... Okay, whatever.
It's a beta of him to own so many guns. It is kind of beta to own so many guns. It's like,
Oh, because he has too many guns. Is that the argument? He's got too many guns, so he's a beta? Okay.
dude,
Oh, okay.
what are you're obviously compensating? Who needs like 1,000 guns?
Beta.
So anyway, let's talk. So during my week, we're gonna get into all of that. My week off was crazy, dude. First of all, as many of you guys may have seen on social media, I was reunited at long last with my friend and friend of the show, Post Malone, whose album just came out, by the way, 12 Karat
Very
Toothache,
cool.
which you guys should stream now. And we got invited to his listening party. By the way, it was crazy. It was so dope. Brittany was there. Oliver was there. What's his name? Tyga? Or what's his name? Oh, Swali. That's Swali, right? Sway Lee.
Whoa! Did you get his name wrong because he's black, Ethan? Are you fucking racist? Are you being fucking racist? You don't even remember a black man's name? I mean, think about it. He knew all the white people, didn't know the black people, and he also plays victim acting like everybody's targeting him because he's Jewish. So, to me, that suggests he's projecting himself onto other people. And he's actually a bigot. Boom. Got him. Nailed him to a fucking wall on that one. Okay? All right? I almost made the very edgy joke, nailed him to a cross, but that might have been considered anti-Semitic, right? Because Jesus was Jewish and he got nailed to a cross. So that would have been a little too far. Intrusive thoughts, guys. But I'm just always in edgy joke mode, right?
I didn't even notice that.
He's super nice, by the way. He's a really cool guy. I think I can hear you typing, Love. Is that Love typing?
Yeah, I'm turning him down.
But like, I was hanging out with all these guys all night, and it was like so much fun. It was just so cool. I spent the whole evening with Oliver. Brittany was there like half the night, and it was so fun hanging out with her. She's the best. She's amazing.
Very cool.
Austin was so fun to hang out with. Amazing. I was with Oliver and Austin all night. We went back to me and Oliver went back to Austin's house afterward, and we were just hanging out all night. It was great. It was so much fun. Such a nice thing. And I didn't know, but Oliver and Austin have a cute relationship too. Oliver's so funny, dude. We have like this dumb beef, but he's such a sweetheart and such a character.
I thought it was all just like a performance to beef. It was like a joke. Okay.
Oh no!
Such a character, you guys. But the crazy thing. All right, so I'm gonna. There's something happened there. I'm gonna say this, and I don't want to. It's what did you type? Tyler? Is it not Swali?
No, that's someone else.
Wait, who's this?
Wow.
I'm not familiar.
Tyler
You met
Yahweh?
him, man.
What?
Wow.
You met him.
Well, we were. Yeah,
Wow.
no, I didn't. Yeah, I thought it was Sway Lee,
It's not
the
Tyga.
sunflower guy.
Wow. Ethan, this is I mean, like, listen, I doubt it's racist, but Ethan, what are you doing, bro? How are you getting this man's name? How are you getting this man's name wrong? Okay? It feels wrong. What are you doing?
Wait,
oh my god.
Doesn't he look just like the sunflower guy? Oh no, he doesn't. Shit, it's a different person.
Damn.
Hey, who's Sam?
You probably just mixed them up because they both collabed with Post.
I don't know who any of the three people that you mentioned are,
Okay,
so I am
alright.
of no
I mean,
help.
like, I'm not trying to be a dickhead, but like, there's one person that you went to an event that you didn't know who it was and you couldn't remember their name when you hung out with them for so long. That does seem a little weird. I'm not saying it's racist. I'm just saying it's a little fucking bizarre. Why don't you know what this guy's name is? Did you just not care? You don't like rappers, maybe? I mean, the only reason I'm going in on this is because he went on this whole fucking tangent about how everybody's is being anti-Semitic to him because the whole Jewish thing or because of the whole like stealing money thing, and then he can't remember this black guy's name. It just kind of feels a little like it seems like a little bit weird because you're not adhering to your same standard. If you're gonna make these arguments that don't have like an actual reasonable logical foundation, and maybe you're being racist. I don't know, bro.
Well,
Here, I
they're
apologize.
musical artists.
Ethan thinks all black people look the same. Well, yeah, because they do. I'm just kidding. But it is a little, it's whatever. It's whatever.
Yeah, I got that.
That
Got
Post
that
has
much.
worked with. So anyway, I don't want to incriminate anyone, so I'm just going to tell this in a way that is just about me. Okay, I'm not saying anyone else was doing it. This is just what happened. Is that somebody there
Okay.
passed me? Okay, this tripped me out. Passed me a box of gummies that had mushrooms in it. And the craziest part
Wow.
about
I bet
it,
you think it was a black guy, huh, Ethan? Racist.
this was like a box. It had nutritional information on it. Do you know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah,
this
that's-
was like manufactured. And I'm like, yo, what? Like, is it legal anywhere? I just didn't understand how I got that. It was like a gummy pack and it had like 8 gummies that looked like brains. Tasted great, by the way. I took mushrooms once. It tastes like shit. I just put a handful of mushrooms and chewed it like gnarly.
Let's go.
So this was a whole different thing, but I didn't get like super blasted, but I was probably like a little bit tripping balls, to be honest.
Yeah, I greened out once, right? I greened out once. They got a bar of a chocolate bar. I actually get nauseous thinking about it. My stomach's starting to hurt now. I got a chocolate bar, little chocolate, and I think it had like 200 and something like milligrams or whatever the amount of weed stuff in it. And I took a bite and I didn't feel anything. My wife took a bite, smaller bite, and then I was like, I don't feel shit, so I ate the rest of it. Right. Like a half an hour later, I just started drifting into just like the fucking cosmos. The horrible night. I started just rocking back and forth. My tics were going ballistic. They were going crazy. Yeah, I have no tolerance. I don't do any type of weeds. So I had no tolerance. I didn't know. I didn't know no shit. No, and then so I'm back and forth, and eventually I'm out. But like I'm still in my body. But like it's control. It's somebody's controlling it for me. I'm not controlling my own body. And I'm barely like there. And I remember something, and it's so hard to communicate because this was such a horrible experience. I remember everything was happening in a sequence. I would make an action, and then I would do another action, and then I would figure out which one felt better, and I would continue to do that action. So if I was rocking forward and I was like, okay, I feel this way, I would start to rock to the side. And if I felt better rocking forward, I'd be like, that's the right one. Everything became very binary to me. It was very bizarre. Eventually, my wife was able to get me up and go into the bathroom, and she's a little bit high now. I'm fucked up. It gets me into the bathroom, and I'm just standing there. And I finally start throwing up, which made me feel better. But I finally started throwing up. But it was such a bizarre experience, and I thought I was actually going to die. Everything became very bizarre and surreal to me, and I started thinking about my career on like YouTube, and I'm like, what am I really doing? I'm just sitting in my house playing games and like talking to people or about people on the internet, and like these people are they real to me? I've never met them before. It was such like a fucking, I guess, I don't know if it's the right word, but like such a surreal existential crisis, I would say. It was fucking insane. It was fucking insane, man. It was such a horrible experience. And I fucking I'll never do it again, you know? It was so bad. It was so bad.
And so there was a couple of crazy things there. And by the way, I haven't done anything like this in like probably decades. And it was like this cosmic coincidence where I could do something like that, because we had a babysitter there who's going to be there all night. It was on Thursday. We didn't have a show on Friday, which that never happens. And the kids were sleeping, and we're like, dude, this is like the first time we could do this in a decade. So me and Hila I'll tell you, we both did it, dude.
Hell yeah.
Whoa, you both did it? You did it?
Yeah.
Actually, I brought a ton back and I threw it out because I didn't want to do it.
Ethan!
I had a
Hey, maybe what you guys should do is instead of doing that, maybe you should have some sex, you loser. Nerd
full
alert.
unused pack.
Bruh,
I know, but I was
what
like,
are you
I don't want to. I don't want to be
Come
tempted to take this again because
yeah, we'll take it off your hands.
I threw it
Don't
out.
worry.
I'm sorry, guys. I threw it
Yeah,
out.
we would properly dispose of it for you.
I, you know,
This is like the nerd table talk about how they like to do drugs. It's very bizarre to me.
but I'm sorry, guys.
What if somebody digs through the trash? You got to make sure.
No, it was,
those are.
and also I was scared of
Lucky.
storing it in the house because Theodore loves gummies, and I was like,
Well, yeah, I mean,
I was gonna store it like in my gun safe somewhere I knew he was getting it, but I don't know. I was just feeling super.
Whoa, what are you overcompensating for something, Ethan? You have a gun safe?
The shrooms and the gun just hanging out.
I know. Well, I was like, where is he? Definitely not gonna get these.
Right.
By the way, we had his 3rd birthday party too, which was super fun. But anyway, so, and I have to say, like, you know, don't do this stuff. It's not for everyone. Don't do it because I said I did it.
Just never, ever do it. It is death.
Yeah. Well, that's going a bit far. But anyway, what was crazy is the minute it started to hit me, I was in the bathroom, and I'm checking Twitter, and I get a message from Tony, Glory and Gold. You guys probably remember him. RS Glory and Gold. He's the guy that Keemstar falsely accused of being a P word and like ruined his life. He's the RuneScape player guy.
I do have like a serious question though. Like, do you think that Tony's life is ruined anymore? Like, I feel like what Keemstar did is very Keemstar to do absolutely no fact checking on a situation, right? Like that's why he went after Call Me Carson and didn't actually verify ages. He even said, like, "Oh, well, the age wasn't available." Then don't run with this fucking story about grooming, you idiot. Right? So it's very Keemstar. But obviously, people don't believe Keemstar, and his credibility has been assassinated because, he doesn't really care about anyone or anything. So I wonder if, like, is Tony okay now? Like, I feel like Tony might be okay now, I don't know if his life is still ruined. You know what I mean?
He messaged, I'm saying, it just coming up, right? And I get a message from Tony that says, quote, "I'm dying very soon.
Well, that's horrible.
Can I call you?" I was like, what the fuck? I was not ready for that.
That is.
So I talked to Tony for like an hour about how he has brain cancer.
Jesus.
Poor Tony.
So fucked.
That's horrible.
Yeah, obviously, shout out to Tony and everything, or like, hearts and thoughts and prayers and all that. But I was trying to.
That comes across pretty insincere, given the context of what we're.
Well, I'm getting to Tony, okay?
I mean, you talked to him for an hour, so obviously you.
What's insincere about it? I don't get it. Are you fucking kidding me? Bro, I can't with this fucking game. I don't know why I'm having problems right now.
I'm just saying the thoughts and prayers thing is like.
Well, I did more than that. Obviously,
Yeah.
he eventually we got talking about he wanted help with starting a GoFundMe.
Mhm.
So we got it set up here. I donated $1,000 already. Because like he has terminal brain cancer, and
Damn, that's sad.
he doesn't want to like leave his family with a bunch of debt and stuff, which
Right.
is insane. Only in America. Only in America. I said to him, I was like, "Damn, dying's expensive." Kind of fun,
Yeah.
kind of not, right? So we'll drop.
Well, what part of the death? I'm not trying to be insensitive. Is it the cancer treatment part, or is it like the funeral costs? Because I think they still do funeral costs in other countries. I'm just saying. Okay, okay.
the link.
It's true, isn't it?
We'll drop the link in the description and the chat. But yeah, if you guys want to support Tony, our good man Tony, he's got.
He owes debt. Yeah, that makes sense.
No, it's Chaz. That's not Rolo Tony.
No, not
No,
really.
no, no, I don't care. That guy can die broke. I don't give a shit. So, but anyway, yeah.
Is that Rolo Tony laughing?
Yes, it is.
It was just trippy. I mean, I literally was coming up. I opened my phone and I saw it typing, and I just saw the message like click through. I was like, "What the fuck, dude?" So I was talking with Tony while blasted on mushrooms
Bro, are you fucking high right now?
about dying and shit. At one point, he's like, "You're gonna die someday," and I was like, "Bro," I'm not planning on it, dude. This is news to me. But it wasn't bad vibes or anything. Tony's a total sweetheart. It was just kind of crazy experience, compounded by everything. And then what was even kind of crazy is that later in the night, the Nelk Boys showed up in fucking steak hoodies.
Stand, let's
They
go.
showed up. I'm not even shitting you. The Nelk Boys cruised in
What a weird transition. The fucking Nelk boy. Okay.
wearing steak hoodies and with a 12-pack of Happy Dad seltzer. Like, dude, these guys do not stop.
Like no shotties or anything?
But there was no conflict or anything, obviously. But again, I'm not trying to say anything. I respect everyone that was there, and God bless. But it was just super weird to see them.
Did they spot you?
Oh yeah,
Any
there was not
effect?
many people there.
Oh, okay.
No, I was getting side-eyed
Okay.
The vibe right now.
from fucking Kyle. Kyle was the one.
Kyle.
I don't know if he was trying. Again, I don't know.
Kyle isn't really the one that ever has. Like,
I think we're good. I think for the most part, I would hope that we've already, conversed about everything here. You know what I mean? Like, I think we're good. I think that we're good. Let me say.
And that was a really fun night. So shout out to everyone who got me
Okay.
magician.
Yeah.
And the show was way too long too, man. But shout
carry guns after 24 hours of training.
out. That's enough time.
Ohio.
It seems like they kind of go on to talk about gun control, which is a good thing. Yeah, man, I think we're good here. There's nothing to really keep going on with the Ethan thing. Listen, here's the thing. Let's just end it with this. I think that Ethan very clearly, to anybody that's being honest, made a very edgy joke. Now, if you thought that he was using the joke as a vehicle to actually cause harm, I understand where you're coming from. I just tend to disagree. But at the very least, if you're trying to be honest, you'll acknowledge that it was a joke still. But jokes can be very harmful, right? And it's something to keep in mind. I don't think it was particular. I don't think he was actually unironically calling for violence. But you could also make a decent argument that maybe some people would see it as like a dog whistle, and they might have used it as an excuse to cause harm. Now, the reality is that nothing actually happened. He immediately walked it back. So I don't think it was that problematic. Most people don't actually care. They just don't like Ethan. And I understand why you don't like Ethan. But if you want to be unbiased, you kind of need to especially honestly stop orbiting Keemstar for all your opinions. Every single person who orbits Keemstar is smarter than him. He's dragging you down ultimately. When you look through his lens first, you're hurting yourself. I'm being serious. All these commentary people, a lot of them are very smart. A lot of them are very intelligent. And like if you keep riding Keemstar's perspective, it's just going to make you look worse. You're not going to be seen as credible in the future. Okay, I know it's very easy to go with that perspective, and a lot of times people don't even realize that they're aligning with that perspective very quickly. But it's not helping you in the long run. You're really just hurting yourself. And so, like, I would generally recommend maybe not doing that. So, you know, just be a little smarter. Try not to orbit him too hard because it's not good for you or your career. And think, you know, think a little bit more critically. Think a little bit more critically. That being said, the conservatives don't care either. They don't actually give a shit. Like, nobody was like, oh my god, I'm actually threatened. Like, nobody actually is felt threatened by it. A lot of times it's like pearl clutching and a victim complex. I'm not saying conservatives do that. I'm just saying in this instance, like, nobody actually like felt like they were going to get threatened in some capacity. So a lot of performative energy. So yeah, that's it. Yeah, especially since a lot of the people who are calling him out are like, there are people who are desperate for edgy Ethan back, and then he acts a little edgy, and all of a sudden it's not the right type of edgy for you, and like we have this fucking absolute meltdown here. I mean, it's all very, goes against your core tenets as an edgy person. I'm just saying. Thank you so much for watching, guys, and another special shout out to all my Patreon and Twitch subs. If you'd like to support this channel further than you already have by just watching the video alone, go down to the links below where you can sub on my Patreon, which will allow you to get your name on this beautiful black wall. Or you can go to the Twitch page and you can actually use a free Amazon Prime sub, if you have Amazon Prime, to subscribe. Thank you very much, guys. Take care.